Creative, personal, and business lives are heavily intertwined. You're the owner, the manager, and the employee. The three of them follow their own bell curves and, depending on where they are in respect to each other, might mean the difference between a sustainable, fulfilling creator career or burnout. If you look closer at the creator bell curve, you will recognize the steps that you already went through or the ones that are showing up on the horizon. Early on the left, we experiment like little toddlers, touching, trying, smacking everything to understand how the world of the creator economy works around us. The deeper we settle in within this space, the more we observe the tricks, the tools, the styles, and other distinctive factors that creators leverage to stand out. This is where we start to increase the complexity of our content through every LUT, font, transition, a video effect. And don't get me started about all the gear I convinced myself to buy just for a single shot in a single video. As we approach the peak of this excitement, the peak of this curve, we realize the equipment, transitions, and all this other noise doesn't make our videos better, and we start simplifying our creative life. Less tools, less overcomplicated visuals, smaller teams. We realize that instead we should focus on a small number of key areas like storytelling or packaging. We recognize that less is more, and the energy concentrated on a couple of action items will yield more results long term. At this point, creatively, we arrive at a steady state, and about 7 years into our creative career, we realize that, hey, we got this. Yet, we should not forget that in parallel, we're traveling up and down the other two curves. The business curve follows a similar pattern, where early on, creators barely get any opportunities. We all work our tails off to get to the AdSense monetization. Forget about the sponsorships and other opportunities just yet. But then, eventually, both business and brand opportunities start to pop up, and it is really hard to say no to any of them. We start signing up for more and more and more things because it feels bad to say no to an opportunity after years of the drought struggling to get to AdSense. And this is where we get into trouble. The business side takes more and more time, and it starts to affect our ability to deliver on our creative work. The revenue comes in, sure, but our attention and energy levels are no longer there to support the growing complexity of growing creative needs. An increasing number of business opportunities keep distracting us. This is where you see your favorite creators start to shed employees, saying no to sponsors, driving further into the simpler business model. They entered the space to be a creator, not a business manager. And this is just the best case. Imagine catching yourself at top of both of those creative and business curves. This is where so many creators quit. And yet, this is still just the 2/3 of the full story. We still have a life outside of the creator economy. Earlier in our lives, we have zero clue what is happening and how to navigate the world. We continue to explore the world, try new things, meet new people, and eventually our lives get more complex. School, work, personal relationship, kids, aging parents and relatives, economical environment around us. Life keeps moving forward, no matter how much we may want to pause it to take a breather. Eventually, at the top of the curve, we realize that there is less and less time to meaningfully cover all the things we'd want to do. Family, work, and the creative career alone already will eat up most of your day. Yet, you still need to figure out where to find time to remain physically active, maybe have some hobbies outside of YouTube, and all of a sudden, 24 hours doesn't seem like enough. This is where to remain sane, you kind of have to shed things off your calendar. Maybe you start seeing your friends less and less, maybe you spend just a little bit less time at the gym or just a little bit less time on some of the hobbies, but this might not be that bad of a thing. Especially if you look at some of the examples illustrated in A Subtle Art of Not Giving a Quack, there's a lot to be said about how people feel happier when they are able to concentrate on fewer things and spend less time wasting their efforts on so many other interesting, creative, fulfilling business opportunities that ultimately do not lead them to better happiness. More focused life is directly correlated to the happier life, and that sanity is so important in your personal life, and that sanity in your personal life will affect in a positive way your creative career and your business opportunities. The key things that I want you to take away from this video is that these cycles are okay. Everyone goes through them. It's absolutely natural for you to get super excited and take on a lot and then realize you need to shed and distill it down to something a lot more concentrated. This is normal part of life. We should all experience it, we should all take it in and then convert it into something a lot more palatable. You should also remember that you are traveling up and down these curves simultaneously, so you always need to be cognizant of where you are in reference to the other part of your life, whether it's creative versus business and personal, personal versus business and creative, and so on. This is a constant balance. You should always think about where you are according to some of these visuals, revisit them, think about the ways by which you can ensure that you're happy and you're excited about your stage and you're not stressing too much about the fact that maybe you're behind on one of the curves compared to the other two. I hope it all makes sense. I will see you next Saturday. Peace.